We have lived and explored Los Santos for over a decade now, and usually the more you explore in a game, the better it feels overall. You understand every story behind every neighborhood, you understand the residents and why they are there to begin with. You grow with the map over time to an extent. However, this really doesn't feel like the case with Los Santos. And to get this out of the way at the very start, no, I am not complaining about Los Santos or Rockstar Games. People always take this the wrong way, but I am a GTA YouTuber after all, and I love Rockstar and their products, generally speaking. The company as a whole is another story, but the products are superior, and as far as games go, they've consistently put out great titles over the years. I'm making this video just to point out some gripes I have with the map in an unbiased manner, to the best of my ability, and hopefully you agree with some of my points. But back to the main topic. After fully exploring Los Santos, it really isn't any different than when you first laid eyes on it. Yes, there are stories to certain parts of the map, but Rockstar makes it very difficult to piece together the full tale of these areas, and most of the time, you are led to assume a lot about the area as a result. This was the case when the game first came out, and it is still not much better today. As games grow, especially live service games that update frequently, the world grows with it, allowing the story to continually expand as well. With Los Santos though, the map is largely the same since day one. Most updates create businesses for the players to own, but the problem is that on the outside, the buildings that these businesses utilize are largely unchanged, so it looks like it hasn't been updated at all. In updates like gun running and the Doomsday Heist, the world actually physically changes. They added hatches on the maps as an entrance to the business. But in updates like Finance and Felony that introduced offices finally in high-rises around Los Santos, the outside remained largely the same, so the actual appearance of Los Santos as a whole never changed. If the structures were updated on the outside as well, it would really feel like the world is evolving as time progresses. But that just isn't the case here. The saddest example of Rockstar not updating an exterior early on is the Mile High Club building in downtown Los Santos. If Rockstar had finished this building's exterior back then around the mid-2010s, it would have had a sense of nostalgia with the older player base. They would have thought back to the times when the Mile High Club was still unfinished, so seeing it complete makes it that much more special, and they really feel like the in-game world has changed since then, because the building was a major structure. I hate to use this as an example as well, but it really fits here. In the early days of Fortnite, the map was much more simple and had fewer points of interest in total, but since the map has become largely complex and all of the original places to drop have been replaced, the direct result of this is that older players, while maybe liking the new map as a whole, as it probably has more detail than the original map, still remember the old days with fewer drop spots and simpler times. They really feel like the game has evolved. Whether that be for the better or not is up to you, but the point still stands. In GTA Online, this has occurred so little in so few places, it perplexes me so as to the reason why Rockstar didn't update the map more physically as time went on. The Diamond Casino before was still a casino, but it did not have an interior and looked largely different than the one we have now. Players remember the times when the Diamond was still the old casino, and remember it fondly, me included. But sadly for them, this is really the only major landmark to have truly evolved since release. As a result, the lack of true evolution on the map makes it feel rather unimpressive even to someone who knows which buildings have interiors and which do not. And do not get me wrong, I know exactly why Rockstar chose to do this. To make updated exteriors is not easy, and that's why the casino took so long to add. I'm sure there were many technical challenges along the way that Rockstar had to figure out. It's hard enough to make interiors match the exterior as it is. In some interiors, you can easily tell that the outside doesn't match the inside. The worst examples of this occurring are stilt homes, which have rather strange designs, and it's easy to observe that it doesn't align with the exterior. If you look outside some of these windows in the stilt homes, you literally just look into the void because that part of the building that you are looking at has no interior and as a result is really a shell, exposing the void along the way. To make changes to a building, you have to make sure that collision lines up to every wall and every ceiling. You have to make sure that every mission that the new building would take place at has another alternative to complete, or you have to remove the mission entirely. This is just too much work for Rockstar, especially in a time like now when they are prioritizing developing GTA 6 over caring for their previous titles. And people accept that as an excuse, but Rockstar is a multi-billion-dollar company. I cannot stress how much money this company makes, it's unbelievable. They can definitely afford to bring on more people and resources to keep Red Dead Redemption 2 and GTA 5 Online alive. Hell, they can even create specialized teams for both games, but why would they do that when that costs extra money that they love, that they cherish? I really don't understand Rockstar at this point anymore. because this is their brand heritage. In 20 years, when we probably will still have GTA 6 unfortunately, we will look back at GTA 5 Online as a rather average title when it could have been so much more. You'd think that Rockstar would take pride in their products and their image as a whole, but at this point, that unfortunately doesn't seem like the case. It seems like Rockstar really loves to make a great story at first, and as most story games go, they don't change over time. The story has the same ending and stays unchanged, but for all of their live service products, they become more and more forgettable as time passes. Does anyone remember GTA 4 Online? Well, I do, and it wasn't anything particularly special. In fact, it was rather boring and simple as I look back on it. I mean, it was okay for what it was, but at the time, it was really just filler for GTA 5. But I remember the main story of GTA 4 very well. In fact, it's my second favorite story game of all time, right behind Red Dead Redemption 2, which is another Rockstar title. And I'm sure I'll remember GTA 5's story 20 years later, but just predicting what I'll think at that time about GTA 5 Online, I think I'll remember it as a good game for what it was, but something that became more and more uninspired as time went on, and something that did not evolve through and through as time went on, and that's rather unfortunate, but it's the sad fact of the matter. And once again, this is not to complain at all. That is not my purpose. That is not what I want to come across as. This is fair criticism of a multi-billion-dollar company that doesn't want to spend a couple of extra millions to make their products have a better history as time progresses. Once again, it sucks, but maybe GTA 6 will be different. Players voiced their opinions that when the Trevor Special Agent DLC got cut, that they wished it came to fruition and that they would have paid for it if it ever came out. Hopefully Rockstar hears these settlements and makes great DLC for GTA 6 story mode that I'm sure players will be happy to pay for as long as the product itself is good, which seems to be rarer and rarer nowadays. And GTA 4's Episodes from Liberty City is clear proof of that. But as for the case of GTA 5 Online, the world has remained relatively similar from its release, at least on a physical matter, so there is little sense of evolution, and that could come back to haunt its history as time progresses. But we will have to wait for that to happen inevitably. And with that being said, thank you for watching today's video. I really love making discussion videos like this because they spark conversation among the community, and I like to understand what the community thinks as a whole, and hopefully they agree with me on this matter. But I think this is a topic that kind of just got swept under the rug very early on, because even early on, Rockstar cut GTA 5 story mode very quickly. It very quickly stopped receiving support, which is very sad, but it is what it is, and they'll have to answer these questions as time goes on. And in 20 years, we will be able to look back on this video and topic because I have faith YouTube will still be around at that time, and we will be able to judge for ourselves if GTA 5 Online has aged well or not. And a special thank you to my channel members. If you'd like to be like Byron here and get a unique custom license plate on one of my cars in GTA 5 Online, all you have to do is subscribe, which you should be already, and it will be replaced by a button that says join. Click it for more details, and that is it. Have a great day or night or evening, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.